I can't believe I'm saying this, but the Avermedia PW513 is the best webcam on planet Earth. Why can't I believe I'm saying it? Because I have recommended the Logitech Brio, which was previously the best webcam on planet Earth, to over 200 people. I've set up dozens of my clients with it who were wildly happy with the camera. I own 2 Logitech Brios. I've spent 1,000 hours with this camera. I freaking love the Brio. I used to think it was the best camera on planet Earth, and then I bought the Avermedia PW513, and I can no longer recommend the best webcam on Earth, the Logitech Brio, because the PW513 is just legitimately better. In this video, I'm going to detail all of the features of the Avermedia PW513, why I think it's the best webcam on Earth, and I'm actually going to show it to you versus this DSLR camera you're looking into, this $800 setup, versus this, versus what used to be the best webcam on planet Earth, the Logitech Brio. And you know what? You make your own decision on which one you think looks better, and you can decide which one is the best for you. It's the 513. Let's just switch to it right now. Here it is. Hold on a second. Does this look almost exactly the same as the DSLR you were just looking at? Yeah, it does. And it's a webcam. This is the Avermedia PW513. This is a webcam that you're looking at right now. It's at arm's length for me right now, and it has near DSLR-like quality. And if you're wondering, well, by comparison, maybe it looks a little bit worse than the DSLR. Yeah, I agree. The colors are a little bit lesser. The detail on my face is a little bit lesser. Maybe I'm a little oversaturated. I agree. But let's compare that to what used to be the best webcam on planet Earth, the Logitech Brio. Here it is. This Logitech Brio, it looks great. Put the Brio side by side with all those sub $100 webcams. This blows away all of those webcams. But when you put it side by side with the PW513, let's go back to it. It looks like hot garbage by comparison. It just does. I mean, don't just take my word for it. This is a chroma keyed shot. This is a green screen shot. Let me show you a wide angle shot with no green screen, and then you can make your own decision on how that looks to you as well. Here's the wide shot, chroma keys on. This is not edited. There's no post-processing of any description in this video. Boom, chroma keys off. So here's the way it looks with chroma key off. As you can see, the PW513 has a crazy ultra wide lens, 94-degree lens. You can't adjust it though. So that's one disadvantage of this, is you're always going to get this ultra wide angle shot like this. I am at arm's length. So you could, if you wanted to, bring this camera in much closer and still have a lot of room versus the camera. You could have it be about a foot and a half away and still have a tight shot with this camera. It's insane. Let me just go over the features, then I'm going to show you the software, and then I'm going to show you, by comparison, the DSLR versus the Brio versus the Avermedia PW513 one last time, so you can just see by comparison how this camera stacks up versus other multi-$100 options. Cool? Let's do it. So first things first, this is the camera itself. Let's go over the design. There's a few unique things about the design. By the way, Avermedia pays me $0 to say any of this. I bought this with my own cash, and I'm not returning it. One thing about the design you should note, though, is it is a giant freaking webcam. It is so huge. It is like 50% bigger than a Logitech Brio. I'd say maybe 70% bigger than like a Logitech C920. It is a hulking webcam. But the quality is there, in my opinion. It's got a privacy shutter built in on the top, which is really nice if you care about that. I don't, but it slides down and it blocks the camera whenever you don't want to be live. And it's got this big fat glass lens with the bubble on the top that gives you that wide angle shot. A couple other design features here that make this camera unique versus everything else. The USB port pokes out the back. Some people might not like that. I love it. It makes it easier to plug in the camera, and it also gives you less cable tension as you're moving the camera around. It gives you a little leverage there, which I like about the design of the camera. It just is easier to plug in, right? Right there. Also, two other key design decisions they made with this camera versus the Logitech Brio, for example. They put the mounting screw exposed on the bottom of the camera, so you can screw this into tripods, goosenecks, you name it, no problem. Ring lights, whatever, without having to disassemble it. With the Brio, you have to disassemble this freaking camera to mount it to anything. Avermedia says, nope, you can just mount it to whatever you want anytime. But the craziest thing about this camera in terms of its physical design, its form factor, is the articulating section here in the middle that allows you to actually adjust the webcam to look like however you want it to look with whatever angle you want. And so it was almost impossible in the past to put your webcam on top of your monitor and get just the right shot and get just the right angle, right? Well, now that's solved. Now the shot that you're seeing right here is achieved on top of my monitor. I could never get this perfect angle, get me framed up just right before with any other webcam, with it sitting on top of my monitor. Now with that articulating arm, you can get it just right. You can get it tilted just the right way without having to buy any other accessories. Why doesn't every single webcam have that? Like, now that I've seen that with the Avermedia PW513, I feel like any other webcam design is now unacceptable by comparison. So I've been talking a lot about the pros of this webcam. Let's talk about the con, the price. It is expensive versus every other webcam out there. It is 25% more expensive than a Logitech Brio, which is very expensive. And it's, magnitudes more expensive than a lot of other webcams on the market. But you can make your decision on whether that quality increase is worth it to you. If you are looking for some accessories for this camera, I do recommend, if you want to get a different position than on top of your monitor, get a gooseneck. This is the great one. It works great for this camera. You clamp it on your table or on a stand or a tripod, whatever, and you can bend this metal gooseneck and get the camera right in the right spot for yourself. If you want a custom positioning not on top of your monitor, link in the description below to that and every other product I'm showing you in this video, and that will just get the camera right in the right spot for you, no problem. But let's talk for a moment about lighting, because if you're going to drop hundreds of bucks into a webcam, you shouldn't just turn it on in your existing lighting in your existing room. There's no sense in dropping all that money. It's not going to look good without lighting. So what kind of lighting should you do? Okay, so in my space, Chroma Key's off. This is the way it just looks naturally. In my space, I've got 4 LED lights on tripod stands that are diffused, and I've got a ring light lighting my face. And so these are very cost-effective ways to light either a green screen or give you backlighting or give you side lighting, or to light your face on the front of you to give you a nice tight look. If you don't give this webcam light, then it's not going to give you anywhere near the yield that you want. You aren't going to look at anywhere near as clear, and your skin tone isn't going to look as good as this. Let me just show you quickly those lighting accessories if you're interested in them, and you can make your decision on whether you want to invest. The newer ring light or the newer LED panels, these are 480 LED panels. For under 200 bucks, you get 2 lights, 2 stands, 2 power supplies, 2 diffusers, and 2 carrying cases. You can choose the color temperatures on these. You can position them any way you want, up 6 feet high, 2 feet high, whatever you want. They're insane. I own 4 of them. I love them. Link in the description below. I recommend them to all of my clients that do not already have a cost-effective lighting solution. Also, the Elgato green screen. If you want to do green screen with this camera, which as you saw earlier, it is definitely a green screen worthy camera. Elgato green screen is the way to go. I own 2 of them. It's the most sturdy. I've lifted mine up and down about 900 times so far, and it's still in perfect shape. So take that for what it is. Also, if you want good frontal lighting and you don't wear glasses, a cost-effective solution for those of you that may be purchasing this camera is a newer ring light. You can actually mount the camera in the light if you want. You just turn it on, gives you a nice wash to your face. If you have glasses, though, it'll add little rings to your eyeballs, which looks terrible. So don't use this light if you have glasses, all right? But if you don't wear glasses, great lighting solution for your face. If you do wear glasses, then you should consider lights like these that you can mount out to the sides of your shot so you don't have the lights actually in the reflection of your glasses. I hope that makes sense. But I promised you would also not only see the actual physical shots of the camera, but also the software, because software is really, really important for any of these cameras. So here is the Cam Engine software that Avermedia made. I used to exclusively recommend Logitech webcams because they had the G-Hub software, which allowed you to control all of the elements of the webcam Most other webcams, you just plug them in and you get whatever you get, and you can't control all of the elements of it. Well, Avermedia's got their own software that allows you to do that. And as you can see here, you can do, here's what it looks like by default. Kind of oversaturated and bright, right? But you can tweak in your shot and make it look the way you want it to look. Drop the brightness down a little bit, maybe drop the saturation down, get the shot just right. Hue, contrast, sharpness, it's all here. Also white balance. You can do backlight compensation, zoom, pan, tilt, anti-flicker. It's all here. And get this, I know this might not sound impressive to a lot of you guys, but to hardcore users, this will sound impressive. It actually saves your settings. So yay, finally, software that saves your settings. So that's good. That might not sound remarkable to many of you, but it is remarkable because so many softwares out there do not actually save your settings. Only Logitech G Hub and this software do, in my experience. So that's a really great feature and a great companion to this webcam. Let's finish out the video with you looking at the webcam. Do you see how tight the green screen is here? Do you see how tight I look? If you want this shot, you're going to have to pay for it. It's a couple $100 for this webcam, but it's cheaper than moving all the way up to that DSLR that's going to cost you $500, $800 minimum to get you in the bottom tier of DSLR. So finally, final thought here. Avermedia PW513 has created a new category of cameras for home studios, in my opinion, by being so good. It's now got a mid-tier category. So now there's the below $100 webcams out there. Then now there's this mid-tier category in the middle, and then DSLRs above that. This, if you have the money, if you have the extra $100 or so on top of what you were thinking about spending on a regular webcam, this one will get you to the maximum quality a webcam can offer. Then, as you make money off your content and your online business and whatever, you can save up the $1,000 or whatever you may need to go DSLR in the future to go way above the quality that this one has to offer. Then you can use this one as a secondary camera for a side shot, a back shot, an overhead shot, some kind of other really cool shot to add to the mix in terms of what you're producing. I might sound like an Avermedia shill here, or like I'm being paid. I got paid $0 to say any of this. This is the first Avermedia product I've owned in 9 years. I just think this webcam is sick, man. It's the best webcam on planet Earth. And I'm now going to recommend it to literally every client I have every time they're looking for a recommendation on webcams. That's just it. That's my honest opinion. Affiliate links in the description below to all the products you saw today. Let me know what you think. Happy webcam shopping. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.